Okay, today we shall be checking pairwise Granger causality test, right? That we shall be doing today. Pairwise, that means between two variables. So, and we have four variables. Those are export, GDP, import, and money supply. We have these four variables. So that is our variables are these four: export, GDP, import, and money. I'm opening all the variables as a group. Okay, so these are my variables: export, GDP, import, and money supply. You can see all the variables are here from 1960 until 1995, right? Okay, and now we want to check. We want to check pairwise causality, right? How to check? I go to quick group statistics. I come here, Granger causality test, right? Among four variables. I click here. So here I put all the variables: export, GDP, import, and money, right? We have these four variables that I put here. Then I run the model. I press OK. Okay, here first I choose lag 2. And so first I start with lag 2. That means it is here. First I start with lag 2 and see what happens. Okay, I press OK. The result has come up. You can see the result from here, right? Pairwise result. So you'll see from here. So the result is here, the pairwise Granger causality test. And these are, and we have chosen lag 2 and our null hypothesis. So these are our null hypothesis, right? Okay. These are our null hypothesis. Okay. The first null hypothesis: GDP does not Granger cause export, and it is the F statistics 0.92 and corresponding p-value, right? You can see p-value, how much? 40.74%. 40.74% is the p-value, and which is more than 5%. So, meaning that we cannot reject null hypothesis because the p-value is more than 5%, meaning that we accept null hypothesis, that is GDP does not cause export. What about the second one? Second null hypothesis: export does not cause GDP. Can I reject? The probability is 43.83%, which is more than 5%. So we cannot reject null hypothesis. Rather, we accept null hypothesis, meaning that export does not cause GDP. Okay, then what about the second one? Import does not cause export. It is the F statistics 4.34 and corresponding p-value, how much? 2.24%, which is less than 5%. So we can reject null hypothesis, and it is our null hypothesis. Import does not cause export. We can reject it, meaning that import does cause export. Import does cause export. So that means from the import cause export. That is one way. That is called one-way causation. One-way causation, that is import cause export. What about the second one? Export does not cause import. F statistics and corresponding p-value. How much is the p-value? How much? P-value is 2.25%, which is less than 5%, meaning that we can reject null hypothesis. So meaning that export cause import, right? We can reject the null hypothesis, meaning that export cause import. So the export cause import. So what is happening here? Import cause export. At the same time, export also cause import. Meaning that here there is bidirectional associationship, bidirectional causality here happening, because import cause export and export cause import. So there is a bidirectional causality. What about the next one? Money does not Granger cause export. So that is the null hypothesis. Can I reject? No, because p-value is 11.87%, meaning that we accept null, meaning that money does not cause export. Okay, then what about this one? Export does not cause money, 8.57%, meaning that we cannot reject null hypothesis, meaning that export cause money. Money supply. Here money means money supply. Then import does not cause GDP. Yes, import, we cannot reject null hypothesis, meaning that import does not cause GDP. At the same time, GDP does not cause import, because p-value is more than 5%. What about here? Money supply does not cause GDP. Yes, it is true. It is true, because we cannot reject this hypothesis. At the same time, GDP does not cause money. That is also true, because we cannot reject null hypothesis. And then money does not cause import. Yes, it is true, because we cannot reject null hypothesis. And import does not cause money. Yes, This statement is also true because we cannot reject it because the p-value is more than 5%. So that is the result from this pairwise Granger causality. So here, what is the outcome? What is the result? The result is import cause export and export cause import. So because, and meaning that there is bidirectional causality only. There is bidirectional causality only between these two variables. But others variables have no causality, right? That we have already checked, right? Between other two variables, there is no causality. Only there exists a pairwise causality. We can see pairwise causality between import and export. So, so, so that is the outcome. That is the outcome for pairwise Granger causality test. When we choose lag 2. But what happens if we choose lag 4? That means lag selection is very important. If the lag changes, then whole result also changes. So lag is a very important in Granger causality test. Okay. Last time we did with the last time we used the lag 2. Okay, last time we got result of lag 2, but this time, lag 2. Now we shall check what happens with lag 4, right? This time is lag 4. Then what happens to the outcome? That we want to check now. I go to quick group statistics, Granger causality test. So I put all the variables, export, then GDP, import, money, right? So we have the 4 variables, right? Export, GDP, import, money. So I press OK. Okay, so last time we took lag 2, but this time I put lag 4. Then we check what will happen. Okay, so I press OK. The result has come up. You can see the result from here, right? So the pairwise causality test, right? Lag 4 that we have used here. You can see from here, this is the null hypothesis, right? Null hypothesis, and GDP does not Granger cause export, F statistics, and corresponding p-value, right? And p-value is 49.944%, which is more than 5%. So we cannot reject null hypothesis. Rather, we accept null hypothesis, meaning that GDP does not cause export. Then what about this one? Export does not cause GDP. The p-value is very big, 64.16%. So we cannot reject null hypothesis, meaning that export does not cause GDP. Then then the second one, import does not cause export. The p-value is very small, 0.93%, which is less than 5%, meaning that we can reject the null hypothesis. That means import cause export. Import cause export, that is one-way causation, one-way Granger causality from import to export. What about the second one? Export does not cause import. Can I reject null? Yes, the p-value is 1.04%, which is less than 5%. So we can reject null hypothesis, meaning that export cause import. So what is happening here? Import cause export and export cause import, meaning that there is a bidirectional causality, meaning that there exists a bidirectional causality, that is import cause export and export cause import. So there is a bidirectional causality between these two variables. And whatever here, money does not Granger cause export, and export does not Granger cause money, right? That is another issue, another null hypothesis. So money does not Granger cause export. We cannot reject this statement. At the same time, export does not cause money. We cannot reject it also, because the p-value is just more than 5%. P-value is 5.01%, which is slightly higher than 5%. So we cannot reject null hypothesis. Normally, if the p-value is less than 5%, normally we reject null hypothesis. But here I cannot reject null hypothesis. Rather, I accept null hypothesis, meaning that export does not cause money supply. Then talk about import does not cause GDP. Yes. So this statement is all right because our p-value is more than 5%. So we cannot reject null hypothesis. And the second one, GDP does not Granger cause import. Yes, this null hypothesis we cannot reject because the p-value is so high. Then money does not Granger cause GDP. This one we cannot reject because the p-value is so high. And GDP does not cause money. That is also true because p-value is high. Then money does not cause import. That is also true because we cannot reject it. And import does not cause money. That is also true. We cannot reject because the p-value is 12.65%. So what is the outcome? The outcome of this having 4 lakh is import cause export and export cause import. There is a bidirectional causality in between import and export. So the outcome is same. So last time we chose lakh 2 and now we have chosen lakh 4, but the outcome is the same. That means the lag has not been able to change the result. The result has remained unchanged. Okay, but now now we shall take lakh 6. Then we shall take lakh 6 to check whether the result will change or not. That we want to check now. Okay. So now what I shall be choosing lakh 6 here to say the results. Lakh 6. So I go to quick group statistics, Granger causality. So I am putting all the variables the way I have done before: export, GDP, import, and money supply. So these are my 4 variables I am adding, right? Import, money. Okay. So now I put 6 lakh. Now I put 6 lakh in the model, right? Okay, the result has come up. You can see lakh 6 pairwise Granger causality test, right? Okay. So here what is happening? The null hypothesis. GDP does not cause export. Yes, it is true because p-value is very high. Export does not cause GDP. It is also true. But import does not cause export. This statement, is it true? Yes, because the p-value is more than 5%. Here the p-value is 8.07%, meaning that we cannot reject null hypothesis. So meaning that import does not cause export. But last time when we choose lakh 2 and lakh 4, last time when we choose lakh 2 and lakh 4, import causes export. But here after choosing lakh 6, import cannot cause export. So now the lakh selection is very important for a model. That means when lakh increases or when lakh changes, result also changes a lot, meaning that lakh selection really affect the results. Lakh selection really affect the result. Okay, what about this one? Export does not cause import. This null hypothesis we cannot reject because the p-value is very high, 9.19%. So, but last time export cause import. Last time export cause import when we took lag 2 and lag 4. But now after taking lag 6, export is not causing import. And last time import and export had bidirectional causality. But now there is no causality between these two variables. One is import and other is export. Then this one, money does not cause export, so we cannot reject. That means this statement is true. Export does not cause money, we cannot reject. That means it is true. Import does not cause GDP, it is true. GDP does not cause import, it is also true, because the p-value is more than 5%. Money does not cause GDP, it is true. GDP does not cause money, it is also true, because the p-value is more than 5%. Then money does not cause import, it is also true. Import does not cause money, that is also right. Why? P-value is more than 5%. P-value is 22.39%. So we cannot reject null hypothesis. So what is happening here? Actually, no variable causes other variable. That means the four variables, GDP, export, and import, and money supply, they have no causation. One variable does not cause other variables. When I choose lag 6. So what is the summary? Summary is that when I change the lag, lag selection changes, then result also changes. So that is the decision of this Granger causality test.